Hello everybody and welcome back to another video today. I wanted to talk about something very different, and that is Cars' involvement, the entirety of the Disney franchise's involvement in NASCAR, because they've actually sponsored a fair amount of cars throughout the years. Whenever a new movie comes out, all 5 of the major movies have sponsored at least one car, except for Planes, Fire, and Rescue. So I wanted to talk about those today because I only just now learned about it, and I don't have any other content lined up right now except for a big project that I've been working on for a long time. It's going to be something I think a lot of people will enjoy, and I'm enjoying making it, but it's also a lot of work, and it probably will not be out for at least a few more weeks, but I think it'll definitely be worth it. So there's actually surprisingly more than I thought. And most of this information is just coming off of the post I made on Tappa Talk, the Disney Cars and Planes community. So if you want to join that, you can. But I made a post on that earlier today, and I figured it would also make for a good video. So most of that is just going to be regurgitating the stuff I already put on that sort of thread. So the one most people know about is the Scott Riggs Valvoline car, and that's because Hot Wheels made a diecast of it, which is... I don't know how easy it was to find back in the day, but there's a lot of ones for very cheap prices on eBay, so I have to imagine it wasn't that uncommon, which is why most people know that it exists, because it was not that rare at all. They also sponsored Kyle Busch in the 2006 Coke 600. This one has a 124 diecast, as well as, I believe, a 164 diecast, but I haven't been able to find any listings or anything for that. But there is this photo from Take 5 Day, which says that it is a 164. You can kind of see in the corner a corrected version of the Scott Riggs car, because the one they released is not accurate at all. He actually crashed out, and I believe it was lap 113. Or not 113, 313. He wrecked out. You can see a photo of that there. That same race, all 3 of those schemes ran during the same race, including Tony Raines, who I didn't even know existed until I started looking this up. He ran the 96, and this is probably my favorite paint scheme of all the ones you'll see today, because it just looks really good, and they even have the same font for the number. I don't know if he has a diecast for this. According to Take 5 Day, there was one, but that's the only picture I can find. And that is just a prototype image, so I do not know if it's actually a real thing or not. I have not found any pictures. It was even hard to find pictures of the actual car. I posted this thread on Reddit, and someone found they recognized it from the 2006 Coke 600, which is where all 3 of the schemes we've talked about so far ran. And he retired with engine issues. I believe it was lap 264. In that race, it's a long race. It's the longest on the schedule, I believe. Moving on to Cars 2, we have Juan Pablo Montoya. I believe this might have been a sponsorship with Target. I know Target did the sponsorship with Kyle Larson, which we'll talk about towards the end of this video. So I kind of want to assume it's from there, though I don't know for sure. You can see some of the Target logos on the front, as well as that rear quarter panel. You have all the main characters. You have Mater, Lightning, and Francesco. I don't know what's on the other side, but it might just be another Francesco. You can see the Cars 2 and the globe towards that Impala logo. I really like this one. I really like the blue. But they actually did not make a diecast of this, so there is a custom on eBay right now, but it's expensive since it also comes with a custom hauler. 2013, Planes and Lowe's sponsored Jimmy Johnson at Pocono. He actually won the pole for this race, so you got to see that up front for at least a little bit. And it got a 164 diecast as well as a 124 diecast, which they're both expensive, but they're not too hard to find. I do have a link for a $20 164, which is a solid price, I'd say, but I'm not going to share it because I don't want anyone to, like, snatch it up before I can get one, but that seems like a weird thing to mention. Then we move on to Cars 3. They sponsored 4 cars during this time. They sponsored 1 in the Xfinity series, and that is Bubba Wallace. I think they mostly called him Darrell Wallace Jr. at the time. They have a nice purple scheme with the Resties and Cars logos on it. This team was like really light on sponsorship at the time, so I guess Cars 3 stepped in. He was actually in the movie, of course, so it's not that big of a surprise. This one also did not get a diecast. Only one of the Cars 3 diecasts Cars 3 sponsored paint schemes got a diecast, and it's going to be at the end. At the time, Mattel held the license for Cars 3, so none of the nothing else could be produced with the Cars 3 logo, I guess Cars 3 branding, without Mattel's approval. During Sonoma, they sponsored Clint Boyer. I don't know if this was just a random sponsorship or Pixar's headquarters is actually in California, not that far from Sonoma, so they might have sponsored him because of that. A very similar paint scheme. You then have Chris Buescher's number 37, the first year and only year the 37 ran, with the JTG 37 ran with the SS body. Looks pretty much similar to Boyer's scheme, and actually also it's going to look similar to the one we'll see next as well. This was ran also during the Coke 600, based on the you can see the banner and the windshield. Maybe it was the July Daytona race, but I'm not sure. Last but not least is Kyle Larson's 42. Now, this one was in partnership with Target, considering he has a gigantic Target decal on his hood. This is the most special one because he actually won the race with this one-off paint scheme. They did not make he won the race at Michigan. They did not make the normal diecast, but they did make a race win version, which means it comes with all like the scuffs he gets during the race as well. If he goes to victory lane, and if the confetti gets over the car during victory lane, they also put confetti on the car, which is always a touch that I really liked. They've released a 124 and 164 race win versions of this one without the Cars 3 logos, and neither of those are actually too hard to find online as well. So of course, none of the pictures shown in that are mine. A lot of cool stuff. Personally, my favorite is Tony Raines. Apparently, Tony got a few other 164s as well, but I cannot find any of those on the site I usually use and on eBay. None of his 96, I can't find any of his 96 schemes. I can find a few of his others. So something else that I actually discovered a few weeks ago was that Levine Family Racing, if you know them, they shut down at the end of the 2020 season. It was just not good enough during the pandemic. They did not have enough to keep the team afloat. But they ran from the Car of Tomorrow days up until 2020. And in an interview, Bob Levine, the owner of the team, actually said that they chose the number 95 partly because of the Cars movie, which is something I thought was pretty cool. So here's a scheme that kind of looks like Lightning McQueen. And this is the true end of the video. Hope to see you guys next time. Bye.